7 factors model as a tool for case formulation in youth care. When a child, parents, or family are referred to youth care, there may be concerns about the child's behavior, the parent's functioning, or the family as a whole. Several favorable and unfavorable influences may play a role. It helps to organize these possible influences systematically. We distinguish 7 factors that can support this process, illustrated below with an example of a child's referral. This model can also be applied to problems that concern the parents or the family system. 7 factors. What are they? Why are they important? And how are they interrelated? Why exactly 7? Factor 1. The starting point, the reason for referral. This factor clarifies why there are concerns and what those concerns are about. It refers to the phenomenon of the problem, the symptoms, and the concerns that cause worry. From here, we can distinguish 3 pairs of interacting dimensions. First division, child, environment. This distinction is based on the transactional perspective. Transactional means that the child exerts influence on its environment, and the environment, parents, teachers, peers, also influences the child. The influence is reciprocal. A child who is sad or withdrawn elicits different responses from peers than a cheerful, energetic child. Likewise, an environment with chronically high expectations can negatively affect a child's mood and self-confidence. This mutual interaction can be visualized as a balanced scale, with on one side factor 2, expectations from the environment, and on the other side factor 3, the skills the child needs to meet those expectations. Expectations at home or in school are always based on norms, standards derived from the child's age or developmental level. Sometimes expectations are too high, leading to overburdening and imbalance. At other times, expectations are too low, leaving the child under-challenged and preventing development of potential skills. A child needs specific skills to meet expectations. These can be divided into what the child can do well and where the child experiences difficulties. Describing the required skills is not as simple as it may seem, but doing so helps us formulate precisely and avoid labeling. Labels such as "this child is lazy" or "stubborn" easily trigger negative interaction cycles. They do not help the child and give no guidance for professionals. In contrast, describing the behavior in terms of skill deficits or performance deficits, as "she has difficulty adapting to others' ideas or has trouble taking another person's perspective," opens up space for understanding and support. Speaking in terms of skills creates a healthier environment for development. 2. Second division, environmental influences, adverse or supportive. The environment can have a negative influence through factor 4, stressors, such as financial insecurity or parental substance misuse. It can also be supportive through factor 5, protective of supportive resources in the environment. It is crucial to map both the adverse and supportive influences so that they can be addressed in the intervention plan. 3. Third division, child characteristics, strengths and vulnerabilities. The child's personal characteristics can also work for or against positive development. Harnessing a child's strengths, factor 6, is often emphasized in interventions. Describing precisely how these strengths can contribute to solutions requires careful attention. Factor 7 refers to vulnerability, which may include genetic or neurobiological susceptibilities, such as a reactive temperament or atypical information processing. Learned experiences can also increase vulnerability. Whether environmental influences cause stress depends, among other things, on the child's vulnerability. For example, in a child with a reactive temperament, a joke, which is an environmental factor, may be relieving, But in a child with autism spectrum disorder, the same joke may be confusing or stress-inducing due to the personal vulnerability of inadequate social information processing. Interconnections. 3 key lines of reasoning are central in the interference to the best explanation of the psychosocial problems. 1. The line of the goodness of fit, how the relationship between environmental expectations and the skills deficit or performance deficit of the child can explain the phenomena of the problem. 2. The line of vulnerability and stressor. How can we explain the development of problems through the interaction between environmental stressors and personal vulnerabilities? 3. The line of resilience. How can we explain that the interaction of social support and the child's strengths prevents the problems from being more serious than they could have been? Practice-oriented and intervention-focused. We map out only those influences that are relevant for understanding the nature and severity of the problems and for disentangling the complexity. Based on the shared case formulation, professionals, parents, and teens can jointly set focused goals and decide on appropriate support or appropriate intervention.